Sup everyone? Needing some assistance. Finally got the flange built for my hard pipe for the oil drain, which is super exciting. Thank you to Kirk Bryan Price for the hood strut kit. So I have just a couple questions for you guys. Nearing the end of my HKS twins build, the best way I knew how to put everything was in a video. So I've got this rat's nest here. How do you guys clean this up? I got to run my IAT sensor. I don't want to have to run a wire from here all the way back over to there anyways. Is there a clean and fairly simple way to tap into it over here and, I don't know, clean up some of this rat's nest? Call it a rat's nest. Shut up. So I was just curious if you guys had any suggestions for how to clean up all of these connectors that I have over here. It's just a lot, and I was also curious if anybody who's gone single / upgraded twins, what vacuum pipes did you guys end up leaving? With my car, I'm gonna have this little nipple right back here. That's going to have a push-on fitting and a Dash 6 flare fitting adapter. It's actually kind of similar to a GM flex fuel sensor barb right there. So I'm going to use that for my coolant return for my number 2 turbo. My number 1 turbo coolant return is going to be right there, and that's actually over here. Got all my goodies all finally done. So that's the coolant return from number 1 turbo, 6AN flare, and then these are the number 1 and number 2 turbo feeds. So just realized that I need to get the stupid water neck pipe. Anyways, I got all that set up. I was curious about the rubber hoses and the little hard pipes everywhere, and even really here actually. I know there's a couple of write-ups on this stuff, but a lot of years have passed since many of those threads have been created, and there usually aren't pictures anymore. Like, what do I do with these hard pipes over there, those pneumatics? Now there's for VSVs. HKS twins, what? I gotta get those things in my car so that way I can get them out of my garage. You guys have a recommendation for the injector resistor bypass plug? I'd appreciate a recommendation on that. And then I've got a whole slew of VSVs and stuff that are just floating around in my engine bay. Bear with me for a second. I'd love for you guys to help me out with this, because I'll be honest with you, it's one of those things that I've not really been too sure about over the years. So there's the hard pipe, that goes to the back of the manifold. That one. And that's basically, it's empty. It comes forward. It went to the EGR. Obviously, no longer have an EGR. It does something up here on the throttle here, which looks like the soft down. But I thought that's what this was. I thought that was the soft down for the throttle plate to help keep it from stalling quickly. If you let your foot off the gas quickly. So I haven't taken the intake manifold off. I haven't put upgraded injectors in yet. I just want to get the stinking thing running at this point. So I got the stock fuel pressure regulator coming over to here, and it tees off. It goes down there. I've got my AM 5-bar map sensor there. Modified the idle air control valve wiring so that way the Infinity can run it correctly. Can I ditch this? What the heck is this thing? Because if you look deep down in here, there's a couple of things that aren't hooked up, and all the writing is wore off on it, so I can't even tell what this freaking thing is. Some sort of a pneumatic control. So I was just curious about cleaning up wiring, because there is a lot of it. Cleaning up the hoses. I got the hoses off of the Superforms thread for cleaning up the water lines. Hopefully it all just plugs in and goes like everybody says it will. I'm just curious about, in general, how everyone has cleaned up the wiring here. Honestly, it'd be cool if all that went across was the Tundra alternator plug, my coolant sensor plugs, and then my crank sensor, and then that be it. That would be really awesome if I could get rid of all of the rest of this. I just don't know what it is, where it goes, whether or not it's getting power. I don't think it's getting power, but even if it is, I suppose I could tap it all off. I just want a definitive answer. I've never really done this. I considered doing a direct plug-and-play harness, but I guess I wussed out. I could have gone with the direct plug-and-play harness and sold my 6-speed harness for enough to buy the direct harness for the Infinity, but I wussed out, and I was like, no, you know what, I'm going to keep my stock harness. So I've got that. I've got a little bit of a issue here with my EDFC wiring. That's all going to get run through here eventually. It's just work in progress. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate all of your help. That's my setup as of today. It's ready to go in. Just waiting for the barb fitting for that back water pipe, and putting the new, I got a new timing belt. Not sure what happened here, so I'm going to go ahead and do a timing belt and see if I can find what caused that. Because the timing belt was only done, I think about 6,000 miles ago, and I think they may have tightened down one of the grommets too far. Well, anyways, it's got a new water pump on it, and I figure I'll pull the water pump off, put the new water pump housing on that has the 6AN flare fitting, get a new water neck. I've got a billet tensioner. I'm gonna get everything. I'm gonna do everything right. Gonna take the crank pulley off. Of course, I wish I could just go ahead and go with an ATI, but this build has really drained me. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm really praying that I can get this thing running, and just driving for now would be nice. Appreciate everyone's help, and sorry for having like six closings to this video. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Oh, and there's one more wire. Hey, so I'm gonna have like 7 closings to the video. It's one more. I actually don't remember ever seeing these 2 harnesses that come out of the gully here. I don't ever remember seeing those. Can you guys help me out? I'm just at a loss. I know this video was long, but I really appreciate you guys watching it. Thanks. See ya.